Bourbon, Belts, Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Tim.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the show where we drink on some bourbon, we talk about some wrestling, and then we talk about them blockbusters.
Darn tootin'.
And we got an action-packed episode for you today.
Yes, we do.
Let's get right into it, man.
Let's do it.
It was my cash-in. We posted up on TikTok. Hopefully it's still there.
I
we
know.
don't.
Who fucking
it's
knows
Y2K
anymore?
of this generation, I guess, right now, and so. But if you
I like
love
that.
our
That's
TikToks, you can catch it on our reels on
Yes.
Instagram and Facebook, whatever. So
Yes.
give it a watch. We really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, absolutely. If because who knows what'll actually happen. If TikTok actually does get banned, Reels is there, and we'll be figuring out hopefully other ways that we can get shit posted out there. for us.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
So, for this cash-in, we are actually doing our first duplicate distillery.
Yeah.
We are going with Brown's Do Epic Shit Bourbon. It's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys by the Brown Family Spirits in Spokane, Washington.
Hell yeah. Local.
Local.
I mean, kind of local.
Ish.
It's Washington local.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. The complete opposite side of Washington from us almost, but
Yeah.
Washington nonetheless.
Exactly. This is my first time trying it.
Same.
We got the blurb on the back. We believe that epic moments deserve to be celebrated. Every achievement, milestone, challenge, and triumph, no matter how big or small, is an opportunity to appreciate the incredible journey of life. Do Epic Shit is a celebration of the extraordinary in the ordinary, a testament to the belief that life itself is the ultimate epic adventure.
Yes.
Hell yeah,
I like
man.
that. That's a good setup.
I know. Let's get to
That
it.
was kind of loud. My bad. I'm excited.
Cheers,
All
brother.
antsy. Cheers, dude. I'm kind of unsure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not totally sure of like how to feel about it. It's not bad
Yeah.
at all.
And it doesn't have like a strong
It
flavor.
does. Yeah, it doesn't. It kind of like it tastes just like I mean, this is gonna sound stupid, but it just tastes like bourbon.
Yeah. No, like,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it doesn't stand out.
yeah.
It doesn't really have anything on its own. It's not like rough.
No.
It's not necessarily smooth.
Yeah. I
It's-
was going to say it's not quite smooth, but it's.
It has almost a negative that I have with it. It almost has like an unfortunate burn.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right? Like it's not like because there's like I don't mind a good burn from a good bourbon, you know, as long as there's flavor. And I think that's actually
Yeah.
the thing. It's just it doesn't taste like almost anything to me.
Yeah.
It just tastes like I'm just drinking alcohol, like
Yeah.
I'm just drinking a bourbon, but it doesn't really have a flavor or anything to it. But again, it's not bad.
Yeah.
We've definitely had worse.
I agree.
I'm probably like right at about a 5.
I was going to rate it a 6. Yeah, right around 6. And I'm hoping that maybe it just watered down a little too much, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. These did sit for a few while we were kind of getting
Yeah.
prepped and after we filmed earlier and stuff. So,
So maybe we'll do a little refill and,
get a little bit stronger.
yeah.
Then we can give you our on the nose.
Yes.
Just kidding. We don't do that. I smelled it earlier and I was just like, just smells like alcohol to me.
Yeah.
I'm still not there. We're working on it. But, hey,
Exactly.
I love the name though. We're doing epic shit.
Yeah.
All right, go watch our TikTok that we just posted. You'll see.
I love it.
Epic and beautiful.
All right, man. Hit us with the socials.
Our socials are at TripBpod on Instagram, X, YouTube, and hopefully still TikTok. Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. Gmail, our email. Hit us up. Send us some info at triplebpod619 at gmail.com. We want to hear from you guys. Anything you guys have for us at all. We love to get social. So let's do it.
Let's get social.
Getting social. Social. I want to get social. Social. All right.
All right. This week, we're bringing back the fact check. And
Yes.
Ryan, it is your turn. Hit me with some knowledge.
I'm going to hit you with some knowledge. This is actually kind of surprising to me. And I re-listened to the episode twice
Okay.
to just make sure I wasn't missing anything. Well, there was nothing for me to fact check in the belt section.
Oh, really?
There's nothing on the wrestling for me to fact check.
I think we were careful because I had like 15 things last time.
And we were very, very specific, I think. But without necessarily even trying to. It was just like, I think we were just paying more attention to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a handful of things from Blockbusters, though. So, and most of them are really just like clarifications or things that I think primarily me couldn't remember. And one is like an actual correction.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll start with that. So the very first correction that I had is how to pronounce the name of the lead actor in Love Hurts. The kid. It is Ki Hui Kwan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, now I'm curious because
I said
like
Ki Hu.
Yeah, you said Ki Hu, and I always I thought it was like Ki Hui.
Oh, okay.
And so, but that's why I was like, wait, how do you say it? Because I didn't know if you had like looked it up or not. And then you said it so confidently that I was like, all right, cool. And then I would like, when I was re-listening, I was like, I'm curious how you what is the pronunciation? So I just typed it in and it did the phonetic. And
funny story. I looked up how to say that name and totally spaced it when we got to the episode.
You did look at
I did
you looked up how to say it, then you just said it wrong.
Yep.
That is funny. Okay, I like that. But yeah, so Ki Hui Kwan. And then another thing with him was I had just kind of said that before he like did Loki and a couple of the other things that he has coming out currently, like he's in Love Hurts, he's in The Electric State. I think that's the name of the movie, right? And he's in a handful of things that are like either just have come out or are in the process of they're getting ready to come out. And I had said that it was like he hadn't, he was a kid from Indiana Jones. He hasn't been in anything in a long time.
Yeah.
And I was right, but I just wanted to put a little bit more of like a definitive like time frame on it. So according to IMDb, there was a gap from 2002 to 2021 where he wasn't credited for anything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then since 2021, we don't even need to fact check this. I like counted and then I've kind of spaced on the actual amount, but it was like he has, upwards of like 8 to 12 somewhere in there, like different credits that he's had since 2021 and then moving into the future. Because, IMDb like shows things that are like in the production. Or even pre-production stuff that has been casted. So he's like went on almost a 20-year hiatus and then now he's like pumping shit out and he's kind of a hot commodity in Hollywood right now. Like he's in a lot of like big time shit.
Things,
So I just thought that was interesting. The other another thing we had talked about was John Cena last week. That was kind of our theme.
That's right.
Talked about like his comedy breakout, and I had said that I wasn't sure, but I wanted to kind of credit Trainwreck with like his like kind of breakout into the comedy scene, and everything I could find where it was like him actually just like him acting in a comedy movie, not as like kind of a, I don't know if caricature is the right word, but of himself kind of.
Yeah.
Was Trainwreck.
Okay.
The Trainwreck was the first big comedy that I could find him credited in. He was in some other, they were called like Fred something,
gotcha.
which were like kid films things that he was in, I believe, as himself as like a wrestler, I think.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't watched those, and I didn't do a whole lot of like digging into it. I just know that those weren't like blockbuster comedies. So that's as far as I looked into that.
Gotcha.
But anyways, so yeah, Trainwreck did seem to be, out of everything I could find, again on IMDb, that's like the main source I go to find timeline things for movies and actors and stuff and credits, was Trainwreck. Fun fact for you though, and I don't know if you know this, he was an extra in Ready to Rumble.
He was?
Yeah, he was a gym rat.
No way.
So he was in Ready to Rumble in one of the gym scenes that was in there. What? Isn't that great? He's uncredited.
Yeah.
Like it says on IMDb that he was in Ready to Rumble. It says uncredited gym rat.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, that's a fun fact because we both love that movie.
I do.
And that's like perfectly blended our love of movies and wrestling and comedy and all of it. So yeah, so I just thought that was interesting.
That is awesome.
Then we also talked about, because I said Trainwreck, you had brought up Blockers, and we weren't totally sure time frame wise when they came out. I was right. Trainwreck came out 3 years prior to Blockers. Trainwreck came out in 2015. Blockers came out in 2018.
Okay.
So there's that one. Talked about Rambo. Because we were talking about Freelance, and I had mentioned the scene where he's like shooting the gun, where it was kind of similar looking. And I talked about I couldn't remember which Rambo movie it was, where he like helps escort that group of people to wherever. It was literally just called Rambo. It's the only one of the Rambo movies called just Rambo, and it came out in 2008.
Okay.
Because even like the first one was Rambo First Blood.
Yeah.
Part 1 or whatever, and then
Yeah.
So this was just Rambo.
Gotcha.
Speaking of which, my next one was, I couldn't remember like what the title of the people that he escorted was. They're missionaries.
Oh, okay.
That's what they were. I was like, they're not like American
we said,
Red
like,
Cross.
Red Cross,
yeah,
yeah.
like they're
But
they're like
you didn't call them that.
Yeah, but they like go help.
Yeah.
And they're missionaries. And then the last thing I had was just in conversation about Freelance, we had said, or I think it was me, had said like they're in like some war-torn country, or then I was like, well, not really war-torn, but like it's like a dictatorship type thing. And it was the movie was set in Paldonia, South America.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all I got for the fact check for last week.
Nice.
So,
we were clean.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. It was really just kind of like, for the most part, just clarifications of things, or like we just couldn't remember something or whatever it was. So yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
That brings us to football, baby.
Football!
We had the wild card round last week.
We sure did.
It was just kind of like who you predicted to win won, except for I thought the Chargers would have won last week. I think we said that last week.
Yeah, but that game had already happened by the time we filmed. Yeah, but we had both expected LA to win, but Houston won. And I think the other one was Minnesota.
Yeah.
We both, and that was just more hoping. We just wanted the Rams to fuck off, and they didn't. And yeah, the wild card. I want to know. I'm kind of fucking you on this because you're gonna fact check this next week, so I apologize. But I'm kind of curious, like, if we've ever had a wild card round that were literally all but one game, the Sunday night game, all of them were blowouts.
Yeah, I can't think
at least
of one.
2 scores or more.
Yeah.
For like all of those games. The entire AFC side of the wild card round were blowouts.
Yeah.
And then 2 of the 3 NFC games were decided by 2 scores or more.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like 5 of the 6.
It's gonna be tough to
And then the other one was decided on a fucking as time expired field goal.
That's right.
So like that's kind of another like just like little thing to that, right? It was like blowouts galore, and then one that was literally like down to the last second.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a take a knee and run out the clock because you're up 1 score, like close game. It was just like a fucking doink off the crossbar to send Washington to the divisional round, winning a playoff game for the first time in 20 years.
That's insane.
So since 2005, I think it was the 2005 season. So I think technically 19 years.
Yeah.
Because it would have been in 2006 probably. But yeah, still, like, it's just fucking like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of wild in that regard. Like, the games were all around kind of boring
Yeah.
outside of that Sunday night game.
I'm used to loving, like, I feel like it hasn't been a blowout like this before, so I will check into it. But I remember games being so much closer and going,
I know.
oh, this is
You're like,
this is where the
playoffs,
fun round
right?
happens,
Like, yeah.
where like unexpected things happen.
Yeah,
but
like upsets, and there were
Yeah.
like there really wasn't an upset outside of. I mean, I guess like you could argue Washington beating Tampa was an upset because Washington was the lower seed.
I believe the win though, like it
Exactly,
it
like
was,
I believe that game was like as close, like the type of game that it was. I think was totally expected.
yeah,
Right, I don't think anyone expected either of those teams to blow each other out. Where you could look at all the other ones and potentially have expected blowouts. Outside of you may have expected Minnesota to blow out the Rams.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a little bit of a game.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately.
Well, that brings us to the divisional round now.
Yep.
Already had one game play out this morning or earlier this afternoon. We're in the middle of a game. Those of you watching this on YouTube can probably see the corner of the TV. We have the Lions Washington game on right now. So I think it's at least a 10-point game. They're at halftime right now. Washington is up. It was 31-21 before. I'm not sure if they scored again right before or not. So, but we ended up with Kansas City beating Houston by 10
11.
or 11,
It was
20,
like
23 to 4,
12.
23 4. It was, I'm pretty sure Houston had 14,
Oh, okay.
I think.
I think it was 23-12 the last I saw.
Okay.
That could be wrong.
Either way, they won. Kansas City won, moved on to the fucking AFC Championship game.
Their defense is so good, though.
I know.
Like
I know.
it's carried
I'm just fucking sick of them. That's They're the current Patriots. They're like the new age Patriots. It's just like, okay, somebody else be in the fucking Super Bowl. And yeah, so we have KC move on to the AFC Championship game. So whoever wins between Baltimore and Buffalo tomorrow will be traveling to Arrowhead to play at KC. We have the Washington-Detroit game going on right now. I know we both want Detroit to win, but they are currently down at halftime. So we'll see how the rest of this game plays out. Baltimore-Buffalo tomorrow.
I got Buffalo.
And here's the thing.
But it's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a big game. And here's my issue. I would love Buffalo to win. And I would love Buffalo to go to KC and win. And I would love to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl. I would love to see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl finally.
Yeah.
Here's the raw data, though. He's something like 0-5 in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow.
Oh, God.
So with my just brutal dislike of the Chiefs and not wanting them to be in the fucking Super Bowl again, I'm like, do I just fucking root for Baltimore? Like, does Baltimore have the best chance? I mean, Buffalo beat Kansas City like earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. I think that game might have been in Kansas City too. Mm-hmm. I can't remember, but like Buffalo beat Kansas City, but playoff Buffalo, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So honestly, I'm here for honestly either team to win as long as whoever the fuck wins beats Kansas City next week. That's all I want to happen. Yeah. I don't care who it is. I would love to see Buffalo over either of the other two. But if the Ravens win, I hope Derrick Henry can just fucking run all over that defense.
I was going to say, the Henry-Lamar Jackson combo
is so brutal.
It's hard to stop. But the storyline of Allen versus Mahomes is just so good.
I know. It's so good.
It's a wrestling rivalry.
It is.
Right
it really
there.
is. It's Rock and Austin, man. It is.
It's so good. So that's why I want Buffalo to win. And to your point, I want to see Josh Allen go to the Super Bowl. LA Rams, Philadelphia,
obviously. Like, no shit. I do not want to see the Rams make it to the NFC Championship game at all. I want Saquon Barkley to fuck up that Rams defense.
Please.
And I It needs to be Philly.
Yes.
I still stand by. I want to see Philly versus Detroit in the fucking NFC Championship game because I think it would just be a good game. I'm hoping Detroit can turn this game around.
Whole nother half.
Yep.
Whole
Other
nother
half. And like I said, it was a 10-point game. I don't know if Washington scored again before the half or not. But
Gotcha.
Regardless, that's where we're at. So KC won already. We're hoping for Detroit. I know we're both hoping for Buffalo and Philly.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page all around because I know we were both rooting for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. That brings us to our wellness journey. Check-in number 12.
Number 12.
How are we doing, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty damn good, actually, dude. These last couple of weeks, I've really kind of kicked it into gear. I wrote a few things down here, jotting them down in my notes. Challenges. I really only had one challenge over the last couple of weeks, and it's the fact that it is way too fucking cold outside for me to do the ice bath. Like I don't have the like it's called like the pod chiller thing that can like regulate the temperature of it to like maintain it at a certain temp. I don't have that thing. Mm-hmm. So, and while it's all insulated and whatnot, you know, the fucking freezing temperatures outside have consistently lowered the temperature of the water. It's down to like 40 degrees or maybe lower, which you can still get in it, but for only like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Which like maybe I should do just for my lower body. I don't know. But I've just been like, I don't know if I can fucking get in that. But I was like to the point where I was in at, you know, like the 44 to 46 range. I was in for fucking 3 minutes.
Oh, damn.
You know, like I was holding it good, just listening to music, just fucking breathing and chilling. I was doing really good with it. So I'm kind of disappointed in that because I really want to use that. And actually, I guess I do have another challenge. I have yet to get to the fucking dump to clean off the side of my house so that we can set up the sauna also because I want to set that up too.
Oh, you got a sauna?
Yeah, it was like a bundle that came with it was like buy a sauna. It's like just like a single person sauna.
Yeah.
Buy the sauna, get the ice bath type thing.
Okay.
That Lindsay got me for Christmas. So,
oh yeah, man.
but
that's
I haven't
awesome.
been able to set the sauna up yet, and I'm like, that would be fucking huge for me too. So I really need to do that. Successes for myself have been aplenty for the last 2 weeks. Like I said, I've really kicked my ass into gear, and I literally wrote hardcore, got back into it. Started using my app again that I told you about. I shared with you. I don't know if you started doing it or not, or looked at it at all, but it's called Lose It. It's a calorie counter. And I'm not doing it necessarily to like be hardcore into counting my calories or anything, even though I'm pretty good with it. I'm pretty strict with it, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's more or less for me to be able to just control portions. Yeah. Because like when you start to look at like how much food is how much calories, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's part of it for me there is I've been really like focused on that. I've hit the gym at least 4 to 5 times in each of the last 2 weeks. Plus I've been working out. When we came back from winter break, we started our personal fitness unit with my freshman classes. So I don't do the full workouts because I teach 3 of those classes in a day when I'm doing the PE stuff. But when we're doing the workouts, I'm doing, you know, parts of, if not, you know, a solid portion of the workout with each of my 3. Mm-hmm. So I'm essentially getting, you know, another full workout in throughout the day on top of going to the gym those same days. Yeah. And me and Lindsay have been working our way back into more consistently going on walks when we're able to and when the weather's decent, because we take Lainey, and obviously if it's like pouring rain, I'm not taking my 15-month-old daughter out to be sitting in a stroller freezing in the rain in fucking January. And I've been playing Ultimate Frisbee with my 3 team sports classes too, which is like the opposite days of the workout days with freshmen. So
nice.
I've been doing a fucking lot when it comes to physical activity. Yeah. What about you? Challenges and successes.
Did you lose any weight, or are we?
I didn't know if we wanted to jump into that. Yeah, I did. I'm down to 228.4.
Hell yeah, man! I got below 230.
I did it a little later than I'd wanted to. That was kind of like my New Year's goals. I was trying to get there, but I've dropped. I was like 232, I think, in the last one. I was like right at 232 ish when we did this last. I mean, I've dropped like 4 pounds in that time frame. I'm down exactly 13 pounds from when we started doing this. I'm down almost 30 pounds from December of 2023, so a year ago. And yeah, so I've lost another 4 pounds since we kind of hit that plateau together. You know, we kind of plateaued there for like a month and a half, almost 2 months, really, through the holidays and everything. We weren't gaining anything really, maybe like half a pound here or there or whatever, but we weren't dropping. And I've dropped 4 pounds since then. So yeah, I'm down below 230, 228.4. I'm almost back to my wedding weight.
Nice.
I believe I was 225 when I got married. So
fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, that's been good for me. What about you?
That's awesome. Well, let's see. Successes. Been to the gym 10 times since the last time we chatted.
Yeah, you hit 5 each week.
5 each week, and
that's fucking awesome.
Ever since we started the text thing, just been motivating.
That's been huge, dude. Yeah, it has.
And it's almost like a competition. I want to be like, oh, fuck, he's already at 2. I need to go.
Yeah,
and so, but it's been motivating me to go for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And in a good way too, right? Like, it's not like, fuck, stop texting me. You know, it's like, oh fuck, that's right. All right, I gotta go. You know, no, it's been good. Yeah,
so that's been a success of mine. I've been starting to drink more water, and I think that's been helping some of the weight loss and everything.
Absolutely,
so
dude. Hydration's fucking
been
huge.
doing that and really focusing in on portions. I have not started the calorie app at all, but I've definitely been watching the portions and going, really, I don't need to eat all of this. Like, do I want to? Sure, but I don't need to, and I've been having more self control with that. Challenges, not too many right now, but having a little disappointment in myself just in the scale, looking at the scale. So last week, went to the gym 5 times, felt good about what I was eating last week, and I actually gained 2 pounds in last week, and I was what's going on? And then fast forward, and I think this week is when I really started to drink more water. And then now I'm down 1.5 pounds from our last weigh-in. So
So some of that too is like, if you're not drinking enough water, you're probably retaining more water. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, and that sounds like contradicting, but it is. Like when you're hydrated, your body's not, you're not retaining as much sodium, which is also like absorbing water and making you carry more water and stuff like that too. So a lot of it could be water weight. Shit, when you fucking weighed in last week, maybe you didn't drop a log yet. You know what I mean? Maybe you didn't poop. Who knows? Yeah. You know? Yeah. And it's also all, a lot of it's about consistency of like time frame when you're weighing, and there's a lot of factors. Yeah. So I guess weight fucking fluctuates pounds at a time, week by week too. Yeah.
So I mean, I was kind of facing that. It was a little disappointment. That was a little challenging. But then today, when I weighed in, I'm down 1.5 pounds from the last one, and altogether 9.3 pounds. So almost hit the double digits there. I'm really excited to break 250.
So where are you right now?
So I'm at 253.6.
Oh, okay.
So,
hell yeah.
So 3.6 pounds away from getting to 250 and below, and that's like the milestone I'm really shooting for, because it's been a long time since I've been below that. So
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
We're getting there.
We are.
We're working.
We are.
And I would encourage you to give the app a try.
Yeah, I
just try it out, see how it is for a week. It can be kind of daunting at first to like try to like fucking keep track of all of it, but like I said, once you start logging things and it's in your system, then you can find it easily. And if you are consistently eating similar foods or the same stuff, like for the most part, I eat very similar things for like lunch every day, or it's like leftovers from what I had before and I'd already put that in from dinner. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of fall into that. And then once you kind of build your whole, inventory of stuff, your catalog of stuff that you've done, it makes it so much smoother. And that alone, because it's one thing to just be like, I've been watching my portions, but it's like when you actually visualize seeing it, and you're like, oh shit, like you still might fucking notice that you're like, oh fuck, me watching my portions was still more than I actually need to be eating, type of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So it could just be something that could just be that tipping point that could just get you over that hump, and in the next 2 weeks you could lose fucking 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Because like healthy weight loss is about like the most really you want to do healthily is about 2 pounds per week.
Yeah.
Right. So like by the time we do this again, you could lose 4 and you'd be under 250.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So I would encourage you to just give it a try and see how it goes. And if it's like you're good with it and you can do it, sweet. And if you fucking hate it, then keep doing what works for you. But you know, it's a tool, it's an option that has worked for me, so I want to at least throw it out for you.
That brings us back to
Belts. I almost just didn't say anything. You started doing it, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to join you in this. All right, here we go.
Oozles. Ryan, what do you want to talk about?
The intro to Raw.
Okay.
CM Punk starts the show. He's talking, you know, he's kind of in that back to the moving on from what he just accomplished and ending that storyline. He's talking about WrestleMania again, and then lo and behold, Seth Rollins' music hits. Seth Rollins comes out. They start trading barbs, and then all of a sudden you hear the sound of the Claymore unsheathing, and here comes Drew McIntyre. And you got these three that all have history. There's feudage between all of them, and we get probably what is the best result out of this, in my opinion. We get all three of these motherfuckers declaring for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, man.
This is shaping up to be one of the more star-studded Royal Rumbles we've had in a long time.
I fully agree. I think this will be the most loaded star power. And it's not to say that all these people haven't been in a Rumble, but with how they're intertwined with each other, with what they've been going, like they've been champion, they're feuding with champions regularly, like it's just top loaded, and just I have 8 of them written down.
Fucking go. Do it.
We got Roman Reigns.
Yep.
We got Cena.
Yep.
We got CM Punk.
Yep.
Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins. LA Knight. Jey Uso.
Yeet.
And Mysterio. That's like the only odd one out, but he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a fucking Hall of Famer, and he's still a badass in the ring.
Yeah. So I mean, already it's just like starting to load up.
I know, like
heavily.
I would assume like Sammy's gonna be in it. Jimmy, probably the Tongans.
Yeah.
Probably Jacob Fatu, Solo. Like, it's going to be a fucking crazy Royal Rumble, because like you said, like, yes, I think it will be the most loaded we've had in a long time, but like you said, it's also going to be the most jam-packed with just story builds and feuds and stuff within it that are all like current or just history, you know, like just happened type of thing. So yeah, I mean, it's looking fucking, and a lot of the people that we just listed off have been wrapped up in shit for years.
Yeah.
That has kept them from being in the Royal Rumble. Exactly. You know what I mean? Or certain things. Like, so I do feel like, a bunch of these guys have been in the Royal Rumble before. But I feel like this is the first time we're going to have a lot of these guys in the same Royal Rumble together. Yeah. You know?
And there's potentially Randy Orton coming back.
Yeah,
AJ Styles.
That would be huge.
So just, it's so loaded, and I'm really excited for it. And then the other part of this is WWE announced this week that there's a partnership with TNA now, and that's more focused with NXT and TNA being able to be cross-promotional, but in there it listed PLEs. So we could be having more
Well, I mean,
TNA.
it's happened already last year, right? We had Hendry, right? Was that
No, it was Jordan Grace was the TNA one that came in last year. Joe Hendry wasn't in the Rumble. There's heavy rumors that he'll be in this one.
I swear to God. No, bullshit. Joe Hendry was in the Royal Rumble last year, and he got eliminated.
He did not. He was in the NXT Battle Royal. And I think you did watch that one.
Wait, is that what I'm thinking of?
I think you're thinking of that one.
I swear to God, he was in the Royal Rumble last year.
No.
And like everybody, because like I remember him getting eliminated from something, and like people were like pissed.
No, it was the NXT Battle Royal.
Okay, all right.
I'll fact check it for
Fair
you.
enough. Fair enough.
I'll fact check
But I know
it
Jordan
for you.
Grace was in it last year in the women's.
Yeah, but that means we could be getting Hardy Boys down the line.
Yeah, dude. I know.
And Nick Nemeth.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so fucking awesome. Such a cool time to just...
It's
such an awesome time to be a wrestling fan.
hell yeah, it is, man.
You have 3 promotions, 2 of which are fucking, like, working together, essentially, now, in things that never could have happened before.
No.
Like, the Forbidden Door was a fucking legitimate thing.
Yeah.
And still is between the 2 top companies.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that even break down eventually. And, like, just have it be, dude, this is what we do. We don't need to compete. Let's work together and just build everything up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's all it would do is just fucking work. It would be awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
Is that back to me now, or is that still you?
No, it's me now.
Okay.
I was just
you were just building off of what I said. I wasn't sure if... Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got Penta versus Gable.
Yeah,
it
dog.
was just the crowd reaction Penta got and the match. And the
amazing.
best part of this is Penta was a little sloppy. He was a little slow.
Yeah, he was.
Because
there were moments.
I'm sure there was nerves, and he hasn't been in the ring for a while.
Yeah.
So it's only going to get better.
Also wrestling someone he's never wrestled before.
Yeah.
Right?
But damn, did that match tear the house down.
Yeah, dude, it was so fucking
It
good.
was-
Even with some of the sloppy moments, which I don't even know if sloppy is the right word.
Mm-hmm.
There were just some moments that you could tell had a little bit of like flubs to them.
Yeah.
But they still fucking played it off really well, and they just like and Chad Gable, I think that was the perfect opponent to have Penta debut.
Yeah.
Because Gable is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And he, like we've said it countless times since we started doing this, he can make anybody in the ring look good because he is that good.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. I loved the entire fucking match. I was locked in, dude. It was fucking great. I loved
so
every second
good.
of it.
And just and you could see the emotion on him and his family. Just the crowd reaction was so nice. And
Well, was that his daughter who was like bawling?
Yeah.
It was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved that entire thing. It was great.
yeah, so it was.
Yeah.
It just felt like a huge moment, and it's just cool to see him in WWE. And
Yeah.
I love the little blurb that the worst kept secret from Michael Cole.
Yeah,
because
because
we all knew,
everybody knew.
but
Yeah.
it was still fun,
And I love that they lean into that
yes,
now too, because like the years past, I mean, and I'm not talking a while ago, because they've been doing that type of thing for a little while now, but years ago it would have just been like the announcers would be like, "Oh my God, can you believe this?" And where Michael Cole straight up was like, "The worst kept secret in our industry,"
but he still made it feel.
but he
big.
still made it feel huge.
Yes.
Exactly. It was Michael Cole is fucking amazing.
Hell yeah, man.
He is amazing.
Hell yeah,
So fucking good at what he does. So.
yeah. Awesome
Yeah,
segment,
dude.
Don Raw.
It was awesome. My next thing is I want to talk about the street fight to close out the show. This is what we wanted. This is what we expected between these two. Was this type of, it feels like a fucking definitive
Conclusion.
It feels like a conclusion to the feud. Will it be? I don't know. But this felt like a conclusion where what we got before didn't.
Yeah.
Right? And there were some fucking big spots in this goddamn
Falcon
match.
Arrow,
The Falcon Arrow off the fucking balcony through the tables. I legitimately believed that Finn Balor was hurt. The second I saw it, I was like, oh my God. Because just the placement of where his head and stuff was in relation to Priest's body, I was like, he actually could have just fucked his neck up.
Yeah.
So like they played that so fucking well. Like they had me legitimately like, oh fuck, he might actually be hurt right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How cool was,
like,
that?
God damn.
The part where he like threw the stretcher down the ramp and it rolled
Perfect.
perfectly.
Perfectly.
I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad.
That any fucking like, I don't know that they could have planned that to happen the way it did.
No, I don't think so.
He fucking pushes him head first. It just happens to turn, hit the side of the ramp,
and he
just rolls perfectly into the ring. It was so good.
No way.
It was so good. And it was great because you got the Judgment Day involvement. You got JD and Carlito getting involved and interfering and looking like Priest is gonna get fucking screwed again. You get the War Raiders coming out, and then you end up getting Priest with the victory.
Yep.
Definitive, no weirdness, nothing. It was just straight up gets the victory. I think the one part I didn't care for was the fact that they like put him in the neck brace, put him on the stretcher, and then he just like rips the neck brace off and it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I think that was a little like that might have been a little cheesy, maybe a little too much, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I thought the whole thing, I thought from start to fucking finish had the emotion. It had the great fucking spots in the ring. Start to finish, I mean, it was a fucking banger of it. It was a toasted match to finish the Raw, to finish the show. Yeah,
the I'm not your brother's keeper at the end. Just that was what really made it feel like final. It was like the conclusion to this feud, which it was great. That match was great. I was worried about Finn Balor getting stretchered out, like it's going to continue the storyline and end the match right there. Yeah. But luckily it continued. Yep. But overall, I agree 100%. It was a toasted match. I want to talk about Lyra being our first women's Intercontinental Champion. You were right. I said Dakota, you said Lyra, and it was a great match too. I was at first when the match came on, I was disappointed that it wasn't the main event, but then the street fight followed, and I was like, I get it.
It was the one. It was I kind of had the same thing. I was like, fuck, I kind of wish this was the main event because it was a fucking great match too, right? And during it was like, or when it was coming on, it was like, oh fuck, it's not going to be the main event. And then the match is happening, and you're like, fuck, this feels like it should be the main event. Like, they put on such a good fucking match. Yeah. And then the street fight, like you said, it was like, okay, no, never mind, it made sense. Yeah. I'm good with the placement of it. As much as I would have loved for them to highlight the first ever women's IC. It would have got overshadowed had it been after the street fight. Oh,
absolutely.
So that's just the way it would have gone. So
yeah, and unfortunately, those two women aren't the biggest stars like on Raw. Like, so it definitely would not have outshined that match.
It definitely would have been overshadowed. But
I came around though to what you said, like with Lyra, it makes sense. And now, like, because I felt emotion for Dakota, like, damn, she came up short. Yeah. And that's going to play into the long run for her character.
That can lead to a push for her as long as she can stay healthy, because she's fucking good in the ring, dude. I'm not going to go as far as to say she's the best in-ring performer in Damage Control because Io Sky exists and Asuka. Yeah. But she's fucking up there, dude. She's really good. Like, and like it was surprising to me, because I just haven't seen that much of her. Like, almost the entire time we've been doing this podcast, she's been injured. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, like, since I've gotten full head of steam back into watching wrestling, I've only really seen her wrestle since we went to SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So.
And so.
Or since we went to Raw. Since we went to Raw. Yeah. Since we went to Raw when they did the triple threat match. Yeah. And I went and got ice cream during that match. So, I didn't even see that. Right. So
I think just the way it plays out, like Lyra had a big year, and I don't think it would feel as good with her losing, where it just seems like it would come up short in all these big things that she did last year. So I like where it went. I think Lyra will be a good first Intercontinental Women's Champion. So I'm here for it, man.
Same. Yeah. I was really happy with that because, like I said, I was rooting for Lyra just because of all the stuff that throughout the year and the kind of shortcomings that had happened, and I was like, I felt like this was just right. Yeah, it was right to put it on. And like I said last week, I felt like putting it on Dakota right now would just seem too quick.
Yeah.
Because of the unfortunate side is because she's been injured, she probably should have been pushed in this regard way before. But every time, like you said, they tried, then she got hurt and it got shelved. So now that she's back, hopefully she can stay healthy, and this could lead, there's obviously respect between the two, but hopefully it could lead to a good little feud between them, and we could get, a series of matches between the two of them with the IC involved. So,
hell yeah, man.
Next thing I want to talk about is I want to jump to SmackDown.
Me too.
And I'm talking Los Garzas versus Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
The fucking match was awesome.
It was.
It was a really good match. I enjoyed the Pretty Deadly interference because of what it led to backstage. That's the reason why I enjoyed it. If it wouldn't have led to this backstage, I think I would have been just kind of like, all right, whatever. But it led to, I have a prediction.
Okay, yeah, give it to me.
So first off, before I jump to that,
okay,
I want to give credit where the credit is due because of what made me put this down is the match itself, and that's Los Garzas versus Motor City Machine Guns. We were excited for this match. We said that last week. It performed and it held up. It did really fucking good. I really enjoyed it. I think it was awesome to see this first ever matchup between these two teams, with Motor City Machine Guns being a obviously very well established tag team, and then Los Garzas are more of the up and up kind of up and coming type of thing. And it was I thought they did a really good job. I thought it was a really good match.
I really liked that double team move the Garzas did, where Angel had one of them like sideways, like he was about to do like a backbreaker.
Yeah.
And then had the other one up here for like a power bomb, and then it turned into this like Pele kick thing. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was like, oh my God, that's awesome.
There were like new things that we got to see, right? And it's exciting.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed that match. It like made me even more hopeful. Like that added Los Garzas to that talk or to that conversation for me of Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Street Profits.
Yeah.
Now that just placed Los Garzas up in that same, category for me of
100%.
like I loved watching them. I love seeing them in these matches now, and so I'm like, fuck yeah, that's just up in the tag roster even more. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's building up that tag roster for sure,
and
the storylines.
Yes, and the storylines, and that's both of those two things are what is leading me to my thing about Pretty Deadly and the backstage. I think we're gonna get a kind of character change with Pretty Deadly.
Oh, okay.
And it's because of Tommaso Ciampa.
All right.
What he said to them was like, you guys need to essentially you guys need to grow up or whatever, and he's been like ripping into him every fucking week.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's going to lead to them dropping the
yes, boy,
the pretty boy, the musical, the more of the comedy end. If we're gonna get a darker side of Pretty Deadly,
I'm here for that.
because really all we've seen is the pretty side.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the deadly side of Pretty Deadly, right? So I think that's what they need. I think that would be huge for them if we kind of get a more, I don't necessarily want to say heel run, because they've kind of always been bad guys, but they've been like comedic bad guys to a point, right? But I'm wondering if we're going to get a more like straightforward, serious group that can then shine in the ring and put on these matches and be up there with those other four that we just talked about.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. And yeah, so that's like I said, that's what I'm hoping for.
I agree. I think it would be good for them because, I mean, I don't buy into. I like to read what people are saying. I don't necessarily agree with them in any way, but like you could definitely tell Pretty Deadly is not taken seriously at all. They don't really want to see them in this, but I think what you said would help change that really quickly. All right, next thing I got is Charlotte Flair is coming back, and you know, she was kind of like the John Cena of the women for a while, and I don't wish for her to be injured, but it's been a nice break from her because
Yeah.
I actually do. I'm excited for her to be coming back, especially because Tiffany Stratton is champion, and that opens up so many good matches down the line. And right at the top of my list is Charlotte Flair versus Stratton. Would tear down the house.
So good.
I did read like a bunch of people are like, why don't they just leave it as a surprise for the Royal Rumble for her to come back? I'm like, I disagree because it's already been rumored she's on the way back, and she's posting videos on Instagram that she's on the mend and everything. Like, it's not going to be a surprise. So get ahead of it, get the excitement going for it.
Momentum building promo for it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
I have 3 more things, but they're all just kind of like, none of them are like huge talking points. They're just kind of like whys. Or 2 of them are whys. One of them is I fucking love it. Okay. So I'm going to start with the whys.
Okay.
And I'm just going to kind of hit all 3 of these things.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you have one more thing?
I just got one more.
Okay, so I was going to say, I think that's where we're at. So first off, why are Lash Legend and Jakari Jackson back on NXT?
Because I don't think they've officially been promoted to the main roster, but I agree. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I'm like, they were fucking balling out, dude.
Yeah.
They were doing so good, and I was so excited for them. It was like, but then the sad thing was, like, I didn't even realize that we hadn't seen them in a while until they flashed on the screen saying that Bianca and Naomi are defending the titles against them on NXT. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why are they not on the main roster? So that was one thing where I was just like, what the fuck? Because they were such a huge fucking, I thought Lash specifically.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Jakari really got a huge opportunity to show out on the main roster, but when she was there, I thought it was good. And Lash obviously was like, she's like main event caliber.
Yeah, she's a star.
Like, Jesus Christ. So I was like, I was kind of shocked and disappointed.
Yeah.
Next thing I have is just like what the fuck? And honestly, I just kind of realized this kind of goes towards the belts question of the week too. So I can come back to it later. But there was a whole fucking segment on SmackDown last night about Cody was in with the trainers trying to get medically cleared. He had a fucking sanctioned match last week on SmackDown.
Yeah. That's true.
That Nick Aldis fucking put on.
That's
like,
true.
What do we mean he's trying to get fucking cleared? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. I was like, as soon as they said that, I was like, was this a pre-taped show before last week's SmackDown? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Did they fuck up? Like,
but yeah, they did. I'm sure.
Like how but it wasn't even just like a single thing.
It was throughout
the night. They kept mentioning Cody getting cleared. Oh, he comes out to save Ray, and the fucking announcers, Tessitore, was like, oh, he just got medically cleared earlier tonight. I'm like, no, he fucking wrestled on the main event last week. A week ago, he main evented SmackDown with Jimmy against Jacob and Tama.
Yeah.
Are you now telling me that Nick Aldis allowed Cody to wrestle uncleared to wrestle? Now that opens a whole new fucking can of worms. So that I was just like, that was a huge fucking like issue, qualm I had with the show, because I was like, that's a huge fucking plot hole. That's fucking terrible. How do you do that?
And then they even furthered it on. I remember them saying, "Oh, it's just a loose like medical clear. Like he's not 100%.
Yeah,
it's just a loose getting like."
Yeah,
I didn't even think
that pissed me off.
That's a good call.
That pissed me off. And then the last and final thing, and we've talked about it before, but fucking Kevin Owens shirts on this heel run are fucking amazing.
He is.
They are so good. The Canadian Dream, son of a fucking systems technician or whatever the fuck it was so fucking out. I was like, it's too fucking good. They're too goddamn good. And then during the match, he's wearing fucking Rey Mysterio's Hall of Fame 619 shirt. Like, he's fucking on fire right now. It's amazing.
No, I agree.
What I had.
That I like that. Going back to your Lash and Jakari is just like, they break the rules on this like roster thing so many times, yet they're making him wrestle on NXT.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's good for ratings and everything
Yeah,
to bring him
yeah.
down there. But you're right. Like, they were prominently shown on SmackDown for a good couple of few weeks there, and then back on NXT. So I definitely get that. And then I had like the Kevin Owens shirt thing. I was like, it made me laugh so much.
Good. And it's week after week. Like he's just putting out new fucking merch, and he's wearing all of it each week. Like from the fucking cutoff tuxedo shirt to the I'm right shirt to the one where it was like the picture of him in the Dusty with the bionic elbow thing, like that. Just all of it, like so fucking good.
It's so good.
It's a huge fucking build part of his character right now.
100%.
It's great. It's all being done so well. I love it.
All right, my last point, and unfortunately, it's a negative one.
Fuck.
But
I tried to end it on a positive.
I came
Son of a
around.
bitch.
I came around to what you were talking about last week. SmackDown has no direction right now. These past 2 episodes, yes, they had good matches in them.
Yesterday's show, and that's funny because one of the things that I was going to say I just left off was I almost put I stand corrected because I thought yesterday's show was much better than last week's show, but I totally get what you're saying with the direction of things.
There's just no real big story developments other than like little tag team things going on, but it just doesn't feel like it's like they're holding out to Royal Rumble. And then, like, what's going on with Saturday night's main event? We only got 2 matches announced for it, and I know it's not, like, a huge, like, a long event. It's only 2 hours or whatever, but we got 2 matches announced for it, and it's next weekend.
The World Heavyweight Championship,
and then
the IC,
Yeah.
So, that is true. I didn't even think about that.
So, we got 2 Raw matches set for it. Nothing from SmackDown.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's just, like... What's going on? Like,
well, I guess if you think of the last Saturday night's main event, not all, but it was a heavy SmackDown theme because that was KO versus Cody.
Mm-hmm. We had the US Women's Champ.
Yeah. So it was kind of heavy SmackDown on that one. So maybe they're doing that on purpose where this one's more heavy Raw leaning.
Gotcha.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah.
Play devil's advocate to it. It's like maybe that's why we're not getting outside of just like the Hogan promotions for it, and then like when they do like the swooping camera angles of like outside the arena or in the arena and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I wonder if maybe it is a little more Raw leaning. Like maybe they're kind of alternating Saturday night's main event because there's supposed to be like 4 a year.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I think that's what I read is that they're like planning 4 Saturday night's main events throughout each year.
Gotcha.
And so like maybe it's going to be like kind of
2 Raw,
2 Raw, 2 SmackDown.
Okay.
Kind of like
that would make sense.
Heavy, maybe not necessarily just like because I don't remember. I'm trying to remember what all the matches were on last one. On the last one, I don't think they were all SmackDown.
No, because there was
Was that Rhea
the
and
Gunther, Priest, Finn triple threat match for the title?
Fuck, I forgot that both main titles got defended on that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Okay. Well, shit, maybe that just blew up my theory, so maybe I'm wrong.
Making it like one champion. But, I mean...
I totally fucking spaced that the World Heavyweight Championship was on... I forgot that was on Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was on a different show.
Yeah.
So, never mind. Well,
and then there was 5 matches altogether. Oh, there was Drew, Sammy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So there's 2 Raw matches right there, and then the US was SmackDown, the Heavyweight Championship was SmackDown. So we got 2 and 2. There was one more in there, and I can't remember. I think it was
okay. So my whole theory then of that is kind of just blown up, which is fine, but then that kind of goes to your point of like, what the fuck are we getting literally next week? Like we have one more Raw and SmackDown before Saturday night's main event. So
I'm sure they'll piece it together.
It's going to be interesting.
I think it's just okay. We're 2 weeks out from Royal Rumble. There should just be a little more big things happening.
I do think it's interesting that they're having a Saturday Night's main event the weekend before the Royal Rumble, because that, like, to your point also, like, they're essentially having to double promote.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, you have to promote Saturday Night's main event to get numbers up for it, but then you also have to promote the Royal Rumble, because that's, like, arguably your second biggest fucking...
Yeah, it kicks off your WrestleMania season.
Yeah, like, it's like that and SummerSlam, I would argue, are, like, probably tied for second in your PLEs.
Yeah.
With Survivor Series being
fourth.
Yeah.
I would,
so... Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I didn't even fucking think about that. I gave it no fucking thought, because it's like we have the 2 Raw matches. We have now what is going to be the contract signing between Cody and KO with Shawn Michaels mediating it.
Yeah.
So that's SmackDown, but there's no matches confirmed.
Yeah. Well, that creates a segment for it, which we said last time. There wasn't really any segment, so at least there's something. So it'll probably be a 4-match event
with
what
the
I'm
segment.
guessing.
Yeah. 4 matches and the segment. Yeah.
So
very possible.
All right, man. That brings us to Banger of the Week. What do you got?
I went Pentagable. We texted about it throughout the week. I don't think there was anything else throughout the week that outshined that match.
I changed my mind after watching Tiffany versus Bailey last night.
That was a fucking great
match
too. That was
tore the house
It was
down.
phenomenal.
It was a great one, but it was like I was set on Penta.
Yeah.
Like I was like nothing.
I'm good with this because then we get to acknowledge. I was actually, if we didn't, I was going to runner up Bailey and Tiffany Stratton because it was such a fucking fire match.
Yeah,
it was super good. That's one of the best matches I've seen Bailey in a long time.
Yeah. I think this is what the women's championship needs.
Yeah.
It was just a toasted match, and it shined both, but it really solidifies Tiffany as champion. She got that feel of champion now.
Yep.
She had it leading into it, but she was losing quite a bit, but this just, boom. Oh, so good.
I know it has probably happened more recently than I'm thinking, but it just feels like, because of how much shit we always do get, it feels like this was like one of the first times in forever that we got a just straight up singles match for one of the main titles without interference or without anything weird, no knocking the ref down, nothing, no shenanigans. It was just a straight fucking forward match with a clean, final finish.
Yeah.
Right? And like I said, I'm sure this happened more recently than what I'm thinking of, but it just feels like it hasn't happened in forever. So it was refreshing to see that. Just a fucking legit battle between 2 of the best women's, athletes, and it lived up, it surpassed expectations, I would say. It was 100%. It was so good.
I thought there was going to be shenanigans. I thought Roxanne Perez was going to
get involved
because Bailey was on NXT confronting her, and then she was on SmackDown. So I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't. So I like it. I like it because Penta was right there. Like, it was my banger up until through that match, and I was like, I'm switching it. Okay.
Update.
All right.
Commanders are up 38-28 entering the 4th quarter.
Ooh.
So.
All right.
Goff is back in the game, though.
Okay.
That's where we're at with that.
Still a 10-point game.
Yeah, still a 10-point game entering the 4th.
Who knew? Commanders, man.
I know. I mean, fuck, if they win this game, I might be rooting for them.
Honestly, yeah.
Fuck it. Let's go, Jay Daniels. Be a rookie and go fucking
Bobby
Dan
Wagner.
Quinn, get B-Wags another ring. Hell yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. That brings us to the belt question of the week. I posed this one, and I want to kind of be discussion style.
Yeah.
I don't want us to go back and forth. It will kind of be that way, but just kind of talking about these things. But I saw this on Reddit, and I thought it was a really good question. So, what are some kayfabe things or coincidences that we just accept as wrestling fans? And kayfabe is just being in character in the wrestling world. Nothing outside really matters is kind of that term.
And your I guess shaping of this question is more along the lines of what are things that happen that kind of break kayfabe that we just accept? That's kind of what you were saying, right?
I mean, kind of. It's
like where it's like we're supposed to be we're supposed to be in kayfabe, but then things happen, and then we're just kind of accept it.
For instance,
Yeah, give the example that you gave me.
okay,
Because that's how I read it.
So, like, when someone's getting beat down and someone comes for the save, their music hits right on cue, like, from the production team. How do they know that they're coming out?
Yeah, right. And then
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm saying is like in kayfabe, we're getting this save.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like we know that it's not like
Yes,
we
yes.
know that this is like all pre-planned, even
Yeah.
though it's like supposed to
Yeah,
come
okay.
across as it's not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that's that's perfect. So
Yeah.
so that was one of the examples. I'm gonna say matches never finish in a commercial. It's never.
Oh,
They
that's
never-
a good point.
They never finish in a commercial.
yeah.
3 minutes away from the match, you know it's still ongoing, and then and then it finishes always on live TV.
That is true, and that's understandable,
Yo,
obviously,
yes.
for sure. But I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I've never even thought about that. That is true, though. That is interesting.
I'll
God
give you
damn, Timmy, you just kind of blew my mind with that one.
I'll give you another one.
Because, like, in reality,
it could.
a match is supposed to be able to end whenever the fuck the person gets hit with something and loses.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So how do they know when they're on TV or not?
Exactly.
It's like the referees have microphones in their ears or something.
And they got like a clock right across from them. Look.
I know. Well, that is so true too, because it's like that's a whole other part to this, right? That,
Yeah.
like watching it on TV and then being in the arena and you see like that they can literally look at the time frame that they're given.
Yeah.
Like everything is so planned out and scripted.
Yeah.
You know, but like when you're watching on TV, you lose that. Because you're
Yeah.
not seeing that. The
You're
camera is on that side. So that's a whole other talking point to this question. Right?
Yeah.
That is funny. Like kayfabe is only for television almost to a point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is interesting. What was the other one you were gonna say?
I was going to say, main events or whatever closes the show always finishes at the top of the hour, or if they say, we're going to have a little overrun, but it always has a definitive finish pretty much at the top of the hour. Like,
Yeah.
why can't a match go longer? Like,
Yeah.
they kick out, but no, it just always seems to be.
Yeah. Well, and then that goes back to the fact that they're all staring at the clock throughout the match, right? They know where they're at.
That's kind of
Yeah,
why I like
that is-
this Netflix thing on Raw, is because it could be a 3-hour
Yes.
show. It could be a 2-hour.
Well, this last Monday was
went 2 and 35
Yeah, 2.5.
minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was like 2.5 hours.
So you don't
So-
know. You don't always know. So
Yeah.
so-
That is kind of nice with that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I would say would be again, kind of going back to what I said with Cody and the whole like, oh, he's not medically cleared, but like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Type of thing. And we actually talked about this on the show either last week or the week before. He's not medically cleared, but in today's world, it's hard to run storylines like that in kayfabe when you have the prominence of social media and you're doing live shows. Mm-hmm. That's definitely one, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like live shows are like fully fucking recorded and posted online by the fans now, right? So, or dark matches or whatever the fuck it is. So it's like you're running a kayfabe storyline where Cody's in a neck brace and he's fucking crippled pretty much from that package pile driver, but the following week he's wrestling in a live match or a live show match, untelevised show match against Kevin Owens
Yeah.
or against whoever, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's like with social media kind of ruins kayfabe. And we've talked about this before too.
Yeah.
We had another question, episodes ago now
Yeah.
about that, where it's like social media really does kind of play a role in deteriorating the integrity of kayfabe.
Yeah.
For better or worse, whatever. It
Yeah.
is. It's just what society is now.
Yeah. To build off of that, and we've talked about it before. It was one of my qualms with wrestling is just like everyone acting like they are doctors and know
Yeah.
all these like
Yeah.
medical terms.
It's so funny because like since you've said that, I've like paid more attention.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck you, type of thing, or I'm like, oh you shut up, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The last one I had for this question was actually the one that I wrote down, and it was real names versus ring names and the use of them. And probably the biggest I feel when we're talking in the context of this question is a blunder is Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Like, he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Obviously, then Triple H comes from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But still, to today, people will refer to him as Hunter, but then also Paul.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, that's definitely one of those like kayfabe breaking things. Because it's like when he's on TV, he's Hunter.
Yeah.
But when he's being talked about as COO or whatever he is now, he's Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
So it's just like, come on, you know, or like, I don't know, just like there's other ones, Macho Man Randy Savage, like not his actual name.
Yeah.
You know, but then you have wrestlers that are John Cena, you know, you have the Hardy Boys, as far as I know, that's their actual names.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But then you have Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
His name is not Steve Austin. It's
Nope.
Steven Anderson. Right? So it's just funny. But then you have like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne Johnson's his actual name.
Yeah.
You know?
Undertaker, not name Undertaker.
Yeah, what the fuck? Kane?
Mark Calloway. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Glenn fucking
Jacobs.
Jacobs, yeah. Like those ones obviously are more understandable, but I mean, like there's certain ones where it's just interesting to think about, right?
Yeah.
With the names. But I think Triple H is probably like the most glaring,
Especially
right?
predominantly
because of
now.
yeah, because of just like the situations. It's like, all right, if you're just go away from it.
Yeah.
Just you're Paul Levesque now. Just
Yeah.
be Paul Levesque. You don't need to be referred to as Triple H or I mean Triple H, sure, but you don't need to ever be referred to as Hunter anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like it's unnecessary. Triple H was your ring name. That's like the similar thing as like Edge and Adam Copeland,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a similar thing. Like Triple H was your fucking ring name. That's what you were known as. That's the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
But you're Paul Levesque as a human.
Yeah.
Use that.
Yeah.
But don't be called Hunter anymore. Just be called Paul.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some other ones I put down, hot tags, they only work for good guys. It's never the bad guys getting a hot
So
tag.
true.
And they never
So
get a
true.
big tag and beat down on them. It's just always bad guys beating them down. Good guys get the hot tag.
Yeah.
I also put refs will somehow always catch interference behind them. Like when they're about to count a 3, they'll have eyes in the back of their head to catch them and stop them.
And it's almost always against the good guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like they stop the good guy from interfering, leading to the bad guys actually interfering and doing some dirty
But then
tactics.
they can't catch anything happening behind them
Yes.
at all. You know, their eyes in the back of their head
That's so
disappear
true. Yeah.
when that happens. Let's see. What about some of the acts that are done in wrestling should lead to arrests, but don't. Like, there's murders happening on SmackDown and Raw. People are getting buried alive, and no
cars are exploding. Yeah,
no arrests are happening.
I will give them credit. Those types of storylines haven't happened in a while.
No, not in a while.
Yeah,
for sure. Let's see. Weapons have more impact during non-match segments versus in the match. Can hit do a one single shot, takes them out for the whole segment. They can do whatever. But then in a match, you hit them with a chair, they kick out of it, they get right back into the match. And then lastly, just variations of the same move have different impacts. Super kick from Jimmy and Jay is not pinning anyone, but a super kick from HBK is going to pin them. And I know we've talked on it a lot, but it's just funny the world we live in where we just accept things in the world of wrestling. So I thought it was a fun question.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
That brings us to
Blockbusters.
Fuck yeah! Hell yeah! a loaded section.
We sure do. We have quite a few things we're going to talk. I don't know what led me to this. Fuck yeah. That hurt my throat to go up that high. Alrighty then. I'm already telling you right now, I'm going to butcher the name of the primary female actress in this movie. But she's phenomenal. Oh. I know who it is. I don't know how to actually fully pronounce the name, so that might end up being another fact check next week.
There we go.
But I'm gonna do the best I got. Opus, not sure. It's Opus.
I think it's Opus.
I think it's Opus. The synopsis for this, and I thought it was very intriguing. It's a young writer is invited to the remote compound of a legendary pop star who mysteriously disappeared 30 years ago. Surrounded by the star's cult of sycophants and intoxicated journalists, she finds herself in the middle of his twisted plan. The cast is John Malkovich as the legendary pop star, Ayo Edebiri.
I was going to say Ayo Edebiri. So
yeah, something like that.
Close.
She is like the primary female star of The Bear.
Okay.
She's like the other chef. That's like the kind of co-head chef to the main character.
Gotcha.
In The Bear. Great show. Mm-hmm. And then Amber Midthunder, I think is how you pronounce that.
Last name.
Yeah, I know, right? She was I don't know what's going on with my throat. I have like a little growl.
Yeah.
I know. I'm turning into Christina while I talk. A little Aguilera over here. Amber Midthunder, she was like if I'm not mistaken, she was the like the sole practically main person in Prey, the Predator prequel.
Yeah.
I believe that was her.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, so good cast all around. It releases March 14th. 2025. There was no trailer for this yet, but I did see yesterday they dropped like character posters for it.
Okay.
So I'm assuming we're like building to a trailer probably dropping pretty soon. So hopefully once that does, we might have a little bit of an update to just talk about it on the show.
Hell yeah.
The premise of this, the synopsis of it sounds very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fairly unique, and like I don't know that I have not really seen or heard anything like this before. So
no, 100% agree.
Yeah.
And just by the cast you're talking about, I'm here for
yeah,
it.
very intriguing.
I mean, John Malkovich
in anything, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're this close to the release without a trailer, but like you said, it's got to be coming soon.
Yeah, less than 2 months. So
yeah, heck yeah.
Next thing we got, this one looks fucking crazy.
Yes, it does.
It's called The Woman in the Yard. The synopsis is seriously injured. Ramona now must care for their 14-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter alone in her rural farmhouse. Then one day, the woman takes form in their yard. Ramona assumes the woman is lost or demented, but as the woman creeps nearer and nearer to the house, it becomes clear she is no ordinary figure and her intentions are anything but peaceful. Now, Ramona must rally to protect herself and her children from the grasp of the woman who simply won't leave them alone. The cast is Danielle Deadweiler. I'm going to butcher this too. I'm going to try my bestest though. Okwui Okpokwalsili and Russell Hornsby. It's directed by, again, I'm going to probably fuck this up, Jaume Collet-Serra, who directed Carry On. That we talked about on here. That had Jason Bateman on Netflix. And this will be released also in March, March 28th, 2025 in theaters. The trailer for this was fucking creepy as all hell. It felt very Jordan Peele.
I was going to say it feels like Get Out
and Us.
Yes.
Yeah. Which brings me to, in the trailer, I don't know if I'm right about this, is just what I saw in the trailer, because you kind of get a glimpse of the woman in the yard under the black veil. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's her. It looks like it's the mom.
Yeah.
Right.
No, 100% agree with
So
that.
I'm like, that's very us-ish.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's almost like us was like the same people in like a fucking alternate underground dimension fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
This looked somewhat like that in a way. That's the first one.
I know.
That's number one. We're in
Bravo.
Blockbusters, and I yawned for the first
Bravo.
time. And that was a mini yawn. That was like a baby one, so kind of halfy, right? It was like half-mast, just a chode of a yawn. I'm usually good at not breaking myself. I couldn't hold that one together. This looks fucking creepy.
It does.
Like, straight up fucking creepy. And I'm fucking excited for it.
I'm glad you put it on here because I screenshotted like the name of it so I could add it to it, and I saw that you already put on it here. But yes, it looks creepy. It looks right up my alley.
Yeah.
And I got the same vibes that you were talking about instantly. So
Felt so much like a Jordan Peele film.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for it.
super excited for this one for sure.
Before we move on to this, though, we got to redo it. We said we would. We're doing it.
That's true.
We refreshed our drinks between Belts and Blockbusters. We want to give it a little bit more of a fair assessment where it's not as watered down.
Yeah.
This is fresh, more so fresh than anything. So, cheers, brother. Do epic shit. I actually do feel like that kind of fixed a little bit.
Yeah, it has
It
a lot
has
more
a little more flavor now that's not as watered down.
It's still a light flavor.
It is light. It is definitely 100%. I think this would probably bump me more towards like a 6.5.
Yeah, I was gonna
Six
say
and a half,
6.5.
maybe tilting towards a 7.
But I do like the flavor.
yeah.
I can't put my nose on what it actually tastes like. But
Me either.
But it has a little sweet tone to it, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Less of a burn afterwards, which is weird. 'Cause
Oddly enough, yeah.
You think when watered down, it would be less.
Yeah, I typically like. The reason why I like bourbon on the rocks is because I typically enjoy it watered down as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it. Like, I'm the type of guy that could totally go to a bar and order like a whiskey water or a scotch water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but this one's actually better not watered down.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting. So yeah,
100%. I definitely lean closer to a 7, but I still say a 6.5.
Yeah.
But the
that
flavor
it definitely upped my rating for sure, being fresh.
and it does have flavor. So
It does. It does have flavor. We stand corrected. Fact checkception. We fact checked ourselves within our own episode.
And I'm glad we did because
Me too.
because the bottle looks cool and
It does,
and brown
yeah.
has never led me wrong.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. It was kind of disappointing at first because
Yeah.
I was excited for it. I was like, "Fuck!" But we did, and we said it. We did that. They sat for probably close to 10 minutes before we actually fully started.
These are big ice cubes that were
Yeah.
mostly melted. By the
Yeah,
time
they were
we
like
started.
half of them by the time we started. So
Yeah,
for sure. All
Yeah,
right,
man.
Moving on to the next thing we got for Blockbusters is we got the first off on, I don't remember what day that was. What day was that? Like Wednesday, maybe?
I think it was Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday somewhere. It was like midweekish. Marvel Studios Instagram posted a story that literally was just a black background with the red writing that said 7 a.m.
It was Wednesday because I worked the next day and had to wait till after work to watch the thing.
So Wednesday they posted that story. It said 7 a.m. in red writing, and I'm gonna give credit to my wife here. You sent me the text, like you screenshotted it and sent it to me, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And for some fucking reason, I wasn't following Marvel Studios Instagram before you sent that to me.
Oh, really?
So I feel like a fucking idiot first and foremost. Like everything we do, you would think that would have been like the number one thing I would do. I don't know how the fuck that bypassed me. We follow it on the Triple B Instagram, but I don't follow it on my own for some reason. Anyways, so I showed her what you sent me, and I was like, "Oh shit." And she said, we should write down our predictions.
Yeah.
And so, like, I told you that. I texted you 2 things. You texted me 2 things. We were the same on the number one that we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Mine was, I said instantly got to be the actual trailer for Daredevil, because we had gotten like a teaser before, and that was really all we had gotten. And I think for the most part, it was in that like the D23 like Marvel
it was like a
glimpse,
montage,
montage thing. That was like all we had really seen. So I was like, it's got to be the Daredevil Born Again actual legit full fucking trailer. And I was like, and if not, I said, fuck me.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the animated thing. And I was really basing that just off of the red.
Yeah.
Red. I'm trying to think. I'm like, red, Daredevil, obviously, with the black and red. That makes sense because it's dark with the red. I was like, red, Spider-Man. That's coming out in either February or March.
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
Yeah, is when that comes out too. So I was like, things coming out soon. Color scheme. Those are the two things I said. You also said Daredevil Born Again and Ironheart, which also color scheme
kind
makes
of
sense as well.
Too.
So yeah, we both said the same thing with that, and with we both thought it was going to be the Daredevil Born Again trailer, and lo and behold, it fucking was. First legit Daredevil trailer, and holy shit, I don't know that I've been so excited.
What a trailer
for a Disney Plus
trailer.
Marvel show.
Yeah,
anything on Disney Plus, I've never been this excited for.
No, 100% agree.
But specifically for Marvel and for one of their shows, this is the most excited I've been for any of their shows that they've put out. The trailer for this looks absolutely fucking insane and brutal.
It's so brutal. What they showed in the trailer, I was shocked.
I know. I was like, holy fucking shit. And this goes back to what we've talked about with this before, right? It's you get Vincent D'Onofrio saying that like he was surprised with some of the shit that was left in the show, like some of the stuff that they kept, because like some of the stuff will get chopped and left on the cutting room floor, but like he was surprised with some of the stuff that they left in, and it was like, oh shit, we're shocked with just what they showed in the trailer.
Yeah,
how the fuck's the full 9-episode season gonna be? Like, oh my lord, it looks fucking awesome. Dark, gritty. It looks like it's taking what they did on Netflix and fucking upping it.
I was gonna say amping it up. Yeah,
shocking to say that because the Netflix show was so fucking intense and gritty and just brutal and just and it looks like they're gonna fucking up it. So
yeah,
I'm
100%.
I'm so excited for this.
Agree with you. I was a little surprised that there was just like they teased that Miss Marvel's dad was in that little teaser part, but you didn't really see that in this trailer at all. Yeah. So maybe that was just like a way to. Maybe it's not even that big of a part. It's just a way to tie in the world of Daredevil.
I still am hoping that what I said comes to fruition, and I would love to see Daredevil play like the mentor role to what is now being dubbed the Champions, which is the Young Avengers.
Yeah,
I think that would be fucking amazing, but that's for future things.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I would like that. But yeah, trailer goes hard. I was super excited for it, and trailer is brutal. Excited is just an understatement for what the trailer brought to it. So super excited for this.
Hell yeah.
Until Dawn. This is what I got. So this releases on April 25th. It's based off a video game. And I actually I went to a friend's house, Lucia and Thomas at the time. They used to play this, like a version of this game on Halloween, and I went over one year and they were playing this game. So synopsis of this. 1 year after her sister Melanie mysteriously disappeared, Clover and her friends head into a remote valley where she vanished in search of answers. Exploring an abandoned visitor center, they find themselves stalked by a mass killer and horrifically murdered one by one, only to wake up and find themselves back at the beginning of the same evening. Trapped in the valley, they're forced to relive the night again and again, only each time the killer threat is different, each more terrifying than the last. Hope dwindling, the group soon realizes they have a limited number of deaths left, and the only way to escape is to survive until dawn. The cast is Ella Rubin, Michael Camino, Odessa Azion, and Peter Stormare. Peter Stormare is the guy that's from Armageddon, the Russian space station guy. I was also in Prison
Oh, yeah,
Break.
yeah. And Bad Boys.
Yep. So that was like the only one I really recognized.
He's like
in the cast.
he's like the fucking mini mart clerk guy in the trailer, right? Yeah. Gas station attendant or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
But the trailer looks great. It kind of reminds me of Happy Death Day. If you've seen that one,
I have. Yep, where it's the repeat of the day over and over. Yep,
Groundhog's Day ish.
Or the one that it's like a romantic comedy with Adam Devine and like When We First Met or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And what is her name? She's so fucking hot. Alexandra Daddario.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But it's the same concept, but it's also it feels like a fucking horror movie game show.
Yeah.
Almost like to a point, not a game show, but like a horror movie game or something. Right. And I guess that's essentially what you were just talking
based
about.
Off the game,
based off the game. So I'm fucking excited for this. The trailer, I was like, oh shit, there's some stuff in this where I was like, oh my lord. And it kind of blends different, you could definitely feel like the pull from different horror movie genres. And it's like almost starts off with like a slasher sort of thing. Then you end up with like fucking, I don't know, like a Cloverfield type of fucking thing. It also has some like found footage esqueness to it. Like, I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm very intrigued by the trailer, and I'm like, ooh, I want to fucking see this. So.
Yeah, the trailer at first, when it first started showing, I was like, God, they're killing off everyone. I was like, who's left? Like, they're giving away everything in the trailer. And then it
resets, and you're like, oh, fuck.
And
I was
like, okay, now I'm like in. So, yeah, super excited for this one.
Unfortunately, I should have, and I need to not do this, and I think we both should do this. I read the fucking synopsis before I watched the trailer.
Oh, gotcha.
We should almost always just try to watch the trailer first.
Yeah.
Before we read anything, because it was like I already knew that was what was happening.
Yeah.
And that kind of bummed me out, honestly. Like I was like, fuck, now that you're saying that, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I should have fucking watched the trailer first. So I think in the future we should always watch just trailers there, click trailer.
Agreed.
If it says no trailer, read the synopsis.
Yeah.
But watch the trailer before you read the fucking synopsis.
I like that.
Because then you get that more of like cinematic shock value to certain things. So,
very true. Very true. Prime Target. So this is an Apple Plus TV show. Synopsis is a brilliant young mathematician is on the verge of a major breakthrough when he realizes an unseen enemy is trying to destroy his idea. Together with a government agent who's been tracking him, he begins to unravel a troubling conspiracy. Cast is Leo Woodall and Quintessa Swindell. This comes out actually really soon on January 22nd. Again, on Apple Plus. I put this down just because the trailer looks awesome for it. I love conspiracy
same
premises, and so this definitely has me intrigued. And then it's on Apple Plus, and they've been
fucking hitting it, dude.
They don't miss very much.
I'm into season 2 of Silo.
How are you liking that?
It's so fucking good.
It's so fucking good.
Lindsay's into it now too. Like she's only seen bits and parts because I'm like I've said it before. I don't wait for her to watch shit anymore because like I will never finish something if I do. But like she got home the other day and I had just finished season 1 and she was like, "Aw," and I was like, "What?" And she goes, "Well, I kind of got into it yesterday when you were watching it." I was like, you started watching it with me from like the fucking episode 8 or whatever, and there's like 10 episodes in the season. Like I was like, you have a lot to fucking watch. But I mean, she had caught glimpses throughout the season, but it's Silo's fucking great.
So
dude.
good.
I was trying to wait until the binge recap to talk about it, but I couldn't. You talked about Apple. It's so good.
It is so good.
I'm fully caught up on Shrinking. I started Silo. I'm probably, once I finish Silo, I'm doing Severance next. Like, I'm just fucking moving on, man. They're pumping out good fucking content.
Stuff. Good
like,
stuff.
Really fucking good content. And Invasion, you need to fucking watch that. I talked about that last week. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, like, this just follows suit with that. I think the premise of it is really cool. I like conspiracy things, and then when I saw it was on Apple Plus, I'm like, I'm there for it.
All right, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I have no idea who either of these people are in the cast. That's the
Yeah.
thing too. Is like I'm watching the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know like anybody in the fucking show,
Yeah.
and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, all right, cool. Same with Severance. Like I didn't know. I mean, okay, I lied.
You know, Adam Scott.
No, not sorry. I said Severance. I meant Silo. Like
Oh, yeah,
Silo,
yeah.
but like Rashida Jones, and then the deputy is in a bunch of shit.
Oh, Common.
No.
Oh.
Marnes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of shit, but those are really like the only two people that I actually know from that show.
Yeah.
For the most part. Oh,
Yeah,
fucking the
The doctor. The dad is in
well,
Game of Thrones.
yeah, he's in Game of
and
Thrones. Oh yeah,
Resident
okay,
Evil.
him too. But Tim Robbins is who becomes the mayor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the white dude who I forget what his role before the mayor is, but IT, yeah. But he's fucking Tim Robbins. He's been in a ton of shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I knew them, but I don't want to fucking spoil anything.
No, don't spoil anything.
So
it's
like,
such a good show.
I knew who they were.
Yeah.
Right. I knew who those people were. I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
These is like everybody that looks like they are important to the whole fucking show. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So that intrigues me 100%. I'm always I love shit where it's star-studded, but I also love shit where I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these people are, because that's just like fresh and brand new. That was kind of how Game of Thrones was when it first came out, right? It was like they didn't know who any of these fucking people were outside of the
Ned Stark.
Yeah, Ned Stark
Yeah.
was from fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And he fucking dies in everything he's in. I forget the actor's name, but yeah.
I like him. I think.
Yeah.
James Bond. He dies in that. Too.
Yeah, he dies in fucking everything he's in, dude. I swear to God. He only takes. He's like, he looks at scripts and goes, "Do I die? No, don't want it." But yeah, so like that's it's a similar kind of idea where I'm like, I like when I don't know shit, but I also like when I do know shit. So.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. It's just because Hollywood right now is going through like, there's a lot of stuff coming out now where I'm like, I don't know who these actors and actresses is.
We've named just a few just today where I'm like, I don't know half these fucking people, and I love it.
Yeah. But then, like, switching it to wrestling world, they do a really good job rotating, like, where it almost doesn't feel like there's anybody new. Like, you see someone new, but they kind of just ease them in.
Blend in, yeah. It just
very
just, yeah,
blend.
very
And it just
swiftly
keeps on going. Whereas Hollywood, it's like a lot of these things are just brand new, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Presents. I just saw the trailer for this. This was the second trailer for it, by the way, so I don't know how I didn't see it before. And it's a really quick synopsis. Really not a lot to it. A family moves into a suburban house and becomes convinced they're not alone. The cast is Lucy Liu, Julia Fox, Chris Sullivan, and Lucas Papilis. The release date for this is January 24th.
I just with what you were saying with like the very short synopsis, that perfectly describes the trailer though.
Yes.
And that's in a good way, right? Because it's like we've talked so many times about how like trailers can give way too much away, and even synopsises sometimes can give too much away. This fucking legitimately, like, that is what the trailer fucking showed you.
Yeah.
You know nothing outside of that. It's just like a family freaked out.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the fuck they're freaked out about. You see a fucking shelf fall. That's it. That's pretty much it. Like, you don't fucking know anything.
But it's crazy. It's like a haunted house movie.
It looks so creepy.
Yeah.
It looks, I don't want to go this far, but kind of to a point Conjuring-esque.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
the first one. To a point like Conjuring and The Grudge.
Yeah.
Could like had a fucking baby almost.
Yes.
Like, that's kind of what this looks like.
Yeah.
I'm fucking here for it. I love that we're in fucking January and we're just like horror movie galore right now.
Yeah.
I fucking love that
which
shit.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just it's a cool to see this trailer. I thought it was creepy as hell. Like I don't know how I think I was watching the trailers you had on there, and this was in the suggested ones over there.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, dude.
And it had me sucked in. And it's crazy. The director of this is Soderbergh is his last name. Soderbergh. I don't know how to say it.
Is it Soderbergh?
Soderbergh, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
And it's crazy his range of what he's directed the Magic Mike movies. And then
I think
this.
that, yeah. I think that's the same person.
Yeah, Soderbergh.
You go from Magic Mike to this.
Yeah.
You got some fucking range, dog.
But I was looking at just everything because I was just like, what else? I've seen his name, and I'm pretty sure we talked about something on the podcast, so I can follow up on that later on a fact check. But I was just like looking at all his movies, like, holy shit, man, got some range.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Super excited for this one.
Another update. The Washington Commanders just moved on to the NFC Championship.
Damn.
Yep, they won 45-31. They picked off Jared Goff at the 1 yard line with 30 seconds left, which was still a long shot for the Lions to come back. They cut it to 14. Washington had missed a field goal to go back up 17.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn, Bobby Wagner, they're moving on to the NFC Championship game and they will be on the road against whoever wins the game tomorrow.
Has there ever been a rookie quarterback to lead his team to the NFC or AFC Championship?
Did Brock Purdy not do that? Didn't he do that as a rookie? Didn't he go to the NFC Championship game? It wasn't that his shoulder was hurt? Didn't he get injured in the NFC Championship game as a rookie?
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm sure it's happened multiple times. Now you just fucking brought up. You're gonna have to fact check yourself now.
I think you're
I'm
right
pretty sure
about
it's
Brock
happened.
Purdy.
I'm pretty sure it's definitely happened.
No, okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm still gonna have to fact check, but a rookie to lead the whole season. Brock Purdy wasn't the starter that whole season.
That's fair. That is fair. He took over partway through the season for. Was it Garoppolo?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Garoppolo. Yeah,
Garoppolo got hurt.
Yeah, you're right. He did take over partway through. He took over like 3/4 of the way through the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right with that.
So I'll fact check it.
And I could be wrong. It could have been his sophomore year that they went to the NFC Championship game and he got hurt.
No,
I
I'm
can't
pretty
fucking
sure
remember.
it was Mr. Irrelevant. Was
Oh
his,
yeah. That was
tag
100%. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I can think of anybody else who's done that.
Not in recent memory that I can think of.
Yeah, I want to say like the most recent one I could think of, and if it even happened, could have been Andrew Luck.
No, I don't think so.
Because he was 100% the starter for the whole season.
Yes, for sure.
And I feel like they definitely made the playoffs.
I think they did.
They may have made the AFC Championship. I can't remember. You'll definitely have to fact check it.
Yeah.
That's a good question,
Yeah.
though. That's definitely a good question.
Yeah.
But they just fucking balled out, dude. Like, their defense just fucking played great against the Lions, and then their offense fucking played great against the defense. So,
Dan Quinn, man. Bobby Wags.
Let's go
NFC
Commanders.
Championship.
If the Lions didn't make it originally, I was going to be rooting for the Eagles because Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of like, let's go Commanders.
Yeah. Well, that would be a fun matchup, just a NFC East matchup right there.
That would be a good NFC Championship game.
You know they play hard.
100% let's go Philly tomorrow. We already said that, but fuck it, let's go Philly. All right. Back to Blockbusters. That's our last interruption for football. The game's over. I no longer have to pay attention to the TV behind Tim. I swear I've been listening to you.
I know you have.
Partly.
We got some follow-ups from previous things we have talked about. The official trailer for The Monkey came out.
When I read this, I was like, we already fucking watched this.
It was a teaser.
It was a teaser. It was like a 30-second quick clip. I stand corrected. But at first I was like, what the fuck? And then I watched it. I was like, no, we definitely haven't seen this.
So the teaser was crazy.
The teaser was wild.
And
Which is like, it had such an impact on me that I thought it was a full fucking trailer, dude.
Yeah.
When you put this, I was like, this is the second trailer. We've already seen the first trailer. No, it was a teaser. It was a teaser for the fucking trailer.
And holy hell.
Holy fucking shit.
Wow.
Oh my God. I feel like I already know 90% of the people that are going to die in the movie just based off the trailer, but I feel like that's only like a fucking fifth of the movie.
I feel
That's how good it was.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, there's got to be more to it, and I think there is more to it. So
yeah. Well, I feel like again, obviously we don't know and we could be wrong, but I feel like just watching the trailer that like a lot of what we see in the trailer is kind of similar to like Avengers Endgame, where it's like the majority of what you see in the trailer is only from like the first fucking 20 minutes of the movie or something like that, right? Where it's like it's just like I felt like the trailer was just like the fucking beginning of the film. Like you're just watching like kind of the intro to what the fuck's going on, but then you don't see anything else almost. Yeah. So
I almost feel like it's what they showed was happening in the past and not showing what's happening in the current, because they were like talking about the backstory.
Yeah, a lot of it. Well, yeah, showing them the twins as kids.
Yes.
And all that. But even then, like when they are showing the glimpses of in the present, you know, with like the real estate agent or whoever it was when they opened the door, and he's like, no! And all of a sudden he's covered in blood. You're like, well, I know what happened there. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It looks
so good. I was intrigued by the teaser.
I know.
And then this trailer came out.
And reminder, I don't remember the dude's name exactly, but the director of this is a dude that directed Longlegs.
Yes.
Based off a short story of Stephen King. And then there's one other person, I forget who the fuck it is, that's tied into this as well. That is
James Wan.
James Wan. Yeah. So James Wan, Stephen King, and I cannot remember the fucking dude's name for the life of me. Where's Longlegs at? I know you got that shit on fucking.
I think it's
a few moments later.
I'm gonna be pissed when you say his name too. Look on the front. Does it not say who it is on the front?
Osgood Perkins.
Yes. Yeah.
Osgood Perkins.
Yes. So like those three, like Longlegs was phenomenal.
Yeah.
We've already covered that shit. It was amazing.
Was it your favorite movie of when we were doing it?
Yeah, I believe it was. I believe that was my number one film of the year. Hands down the best horror movie of the year.
Yeah.
I think without argue. So for him to be the one directing this, based off a fucking short story by Stephen King, who I'm sure is an executive producer or some shit on this movie, and also produced by James Wan's fucking Atomic Monster, who is also partnered with Blumhouse.
Yeah.
There's so many things here that I'm just like, this movie's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good. Next update. What do we got?
Scream 7 update. It sounds like Patrick Dempsey is out and Joel McHale has been casted as Sid's husband.
Yeah.
They never fully said Sidney Prescott's husband in Scream 5. They just said Mark. And so that's what led to this recast, because it sounds like Patrick Dempsey's too busy or asking for too much money, and they had to go another direction. So
could it have possibly been the whole time that it was never Patrick Dempsey's character? Could it just be a different Mark?
Yeah, it could have been a different Mark. And
because Patrick Dempsey's character was Mark Sinclair.
Mark Kincaid.
Mark Kincaid. Okay,
yes.
I knew there was a in there. But yeah, so Mark Kincaid.
I think
so. Maybe it's a different Mark.
I think just the way Scream 3 ended, everyone just was like immediately deduced to that, and I did too. And so I was here for it, but I'm also here for Joel McHale in the role. He's proven he can do comedy, serious, and everything. So just a quick little update on that.
All right. I also saw when I saw Joel McHale, I saw a thing that said Joel McHale had been casted in Scream 7. I didn't know what the role was, so I didn't know that part of it. But it also followed up with Savoy Brown. I forget her first name, but it's the twins.
Yeah.
She's back also.
Okay.
So he had already been. We had already talked about that. How I forget the actor's name.
Gooding.
Gooding. Yeah, Mason Gooding. He had been casted to be in this.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, hopefully the other one would be back as well. She is.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Perfect. All right. That brings us to Blockbusted.
Unfortunately.
And just again to rehash what Blockbusted is we take the combined lowest Rotten Tomato score from the previous month, This one got 32% for both.
Yeah.
Movie's called Dirty Angels. Mm-hmm. And the synopsis for this is: soldiers in an all-female commando unit pose as members of a relief organization to save a group of girls taken hostage by a terrorist in Afghanistan. The cast is Ruby Rose, Eva Green, Maria Baklava.
Baklava's so fucking good. Have you ever eaten baklava?
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Better than this movie.
Oh, yeah, that's not hard. I'm pretty sure I could lick your dog's butthole right now and it would be better than this movie was.
My instant thoughts...
I'm not going to lick his dog's butthole. I just want to fucking point that out for anyone that's going to come at us in the comments.
He does the research for this section, and when he sent me this title, I was like, are we watching a porn?
He literally said, wait, is that a porno? And I said, no, but that might be better than what this ends up being. And yeah, I would argue that 98% of the porns I've ever watched, which is a lot, by the way, and fucking Pornhub at your fingertips, right? The acting in all of those porns is better than what the fuck this was.
So what did you think of this movie?
I would rather watch Armor. I would watch Armor. I would watch Armor on repeat before having a conversation about this fucking movie. This is, hands down, the worst movie I've ever fucking seen before. Tim, I almost turned it off. I legitimate, like, I'm not fucking joking. I almost shut it off and texted you, I can't fucking finish watching this. And that was within like the first 15 minutes. And then I said, no, I fucked myself because this fucking goddamn, what has turned out to be a dog shit segment of a fucking show was my fucking idea. So I have to fucking live through it because at this point, I watched it yesterday. I'm sure you had already watched it. I was like, I'm not going to fucking bail on you. We need to have a conversation. It was fucking horrendous. It was awful.
Yeah.
This was terrible. Mm-hmm. It was an hour and 40 minutes of my life that I didn't think this about Armor. I legitimately didn't think like, oh, this was an hour and fucking however long that I'm never going to get back. I could have been doing so many other fucking productive things than watching this piece of absolute fucking dog shit of a film. There are so many things to this movie that make no fucking sense. This isn't me. This is just factual. A full fucking female-led mercenary group doesn't exist. That's not a thing. And I don't even fucking know if they were mercenaries. They never explained it. It was just all of a sudden this group of fucking people were together. And why are there so many white people in fucking Pakistan? Why are there so many fucking English, like full-blown fucking fluently English-speaking people in just like the fucking residents of Pakistan speak perfect fucking English? It makes no sense. I've never been to Pakistan. Maybe they do. And if they do, I'll fucking eat my words. But I don't think it's fucking true. Or I feel like relations would be a hell of a lot better. Right? What the fuck did you think about it before I could talk for another fucking 30 minutes on how much I fucking hate this film? This was the worst fucking thing that has ever graced my eyeballs. And I've seen some fucked up shit. I worked night shift downtown Seattle, Tim. I've seen things. I've almost seen murder happen in front of my eyes. And I would rather watch that fully be followed through with than see this movie again. What'd you think, Tim? How'd you feel about it?
How
the fuck did it get a 32% both? Critics and fans. The fuck is wrong with you? Freelance had an 11% critic score. Are you fucking out of your mind? I would watch John Cena fucking shove his dick in you before I watch this fucking movie again. I'm so angry. Anyways.
Anywho.
I digress. What'd you think about the film, Tim?
I'm going to give it... No. I thought Armor was the worst movie that we saw, but at least I made it through that without... I didn't get my cell phone out. I watched it all and hated it, every bit of it. This movie, cannot say. I had to rewind a few parts, probably just... And I shouldn't have. Just because I was so bored. This movie has no redeeming qualities to it.
There's no qualities
There's not.
to it.
No.
Outside of, this makes fucking Kirsten Stewart's fucking Twilight performances look Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
I think I said her name wrong. Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Kirsten, like Kirsten, like
Kirsten
fucking
Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. Kristen Stewart.
It was a terrible movie. It was bad. It was boring. There was plot holes all over this movie. It didn't ever, like, they would even bring something up, but never finalized on it. And then, yeah, there's just no redeeming qualities to this movie. It was bad. It was garbage. It was... I'm like physically mad. I was shocked to see the matching scores, like 32%.
32% for this? 32% might as well be like a fucking 4.0 GPA. That's like how bad this was. This should be in the negatives.
Yeah.
There is not a single good thing. Nothing about this was good. I lied. There's one good thing about it until it didn't happen, and it was the main fucking character not dying in the first fucking 3 minutes of the movie by getting thrown rocks fucking chucked at her.
Oh, yeah.
Should have just ended there. That should have been it. It should have been a fucking short story. Should have been a fucking, this is what ISIS does. All right, move on.
And that's it.
It opens. She's a woman. She gets thrown down in front of everybody. They all fucking barrage her with fucking stones. She dies. Cool. Move on to the next thing.
Yep.
That would have been a better film.
I can't even, in good conscience, say, in a joking way, go watch this.
No.
Like, I've always said, jokingly, go watch this. Do not.
The only way you should ever watch this movie is to try to get a final laugh in your life before you are fucking executed in prison. That's the only fucking way. Like, if you're like, oh yeah, I want to watch something fucking terrible to laugh my ass off before I'm put to death, that's when you watch this film.
I think, also, if you think another movie is the worst movie, throw this on afterwards, and then you'll think the other one you watched was a masterpiece. Yeah,
the only other way I would say you should watch this film is if you were being, like, I don't know, ass fucked by an elephant and you wanted something to try to make your life feel better, would be to watch this film. You're being being penetrated by a gigantic elephant dong, and no matter what orifice, it doesn't matter. I said ass fucked, but it could be in the vagina if you're a woman, or it could be in the mouth if you're into that. It doesn't matter. And you're like, fuck, this sucks. But then you turn that film on, you're like, no, I'll take the elephant dong. Because this movie is fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It's so bad.
Ruby Rose has significantly since whatever the fuck I first saw her in. Couldn't tell you what that was because she's not that important of an actress to me.
Well,
but
you know, the main actress was in Casino Royale with that James Bond movie. Super good, but anyway.
The James Bond movies are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Don't remember her from it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this kind of backs that up. She's not that memorable. outside of looking like a fucking Twilight Kristen Stewart knockoff. She's just angry all the time. She's just dark. She has this look on her face. I don't fucking know. Anyways.
So, the last part of this, we're supposed to rate it, so...
Oh, fucking negative 1,000, 100 million, bajillion, trillion %. There is not a single part of me that's giving this an actual fucking score, Tim.
Not even a 0?
No. No, it doesn't deserve an actual number.
I'll give it a negative 100.
Yeah,
So,
it's fucking terrible.
It was a terrible, terrible movie.
If you could put the infinity sign covered in dog shit, that's what this is.
Just giving it a glowing review, everyone. Do not go see this.
No. Don't waste the fucking $8 that I spent on the only place I could find it, which was on my Xfinity. I don't know where you watched it.
I watched it on Apple.
Apple Plus?
No, I had to rent it.
How much was it for you?
$6.99.
All right, man, mine was $7.99. So fuck you.
We supported this movie.
I would rather spend $8 to get herpes than to watch this movie again.
And that is
what's next? What do we got?
That's this edition of Blockbusters.
That might be the final edition of Blockbusters. I'm going to be honest with you. We're talking after this. I don't know if I can do it again, man. I stand corrected.
We got Blockbusters.
I want to go back in time. I want to jump in my own DeLorean and fucking punch myself in the face before I introduce this segment. We had fun with it for the first few fucking times because it was funny. We had Alec Baldwin back to back, and they were fucking awful movies, but we enjoyed the funniness behind them. It was almost like we were watching spoof films, but they were trying to be real. And then Crescent City happened, and we were like, uh-oh. And then everything has happened since then, and I fucking hate my life because of it. Blockbusters question of the week, Tim. Oh, this is mine. I posed this. Let's jump into it. Let's get us back to Happyville. What is one Marvel superhero that has not been done in big time live action? I say big time because there's certain things that have happened before that I don't know that we would fully count.
Yeah.
Maybe I should specify mainstream MCU. Or just MCU as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's all that matters when it comes to live action Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially right now.
Yep. What is one Marvel superhero from the comics that has not been done in the mainstream MCU that you would really like to see brought into the fold?
Okay.
And I would like to add an extra piece. This is added. This wasn't... If you're not ready for this, you don't have to. Who would you like to see play that character? Did I just fuck you up?
Well, yeah, I have
okay.
no
idea.
idea.
You don't have that. That's fine. I'll just say mine because this is long running for me.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
So I got Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
Similar powers to Thor.
Looks like Thor.
Looks like Thor, but more badass.
Yeah.
And I think it could be a good passing of the torch. That seems what's going on, and if Hemsworth doesn't want to be part of this
I think eventually he's going to have to step down, right? Like, you can't keep that magnificent bod forever.
So, I mean, in Thor 5, if I'm pretty sure that's happening, that would be a good passing of the torch right there.
It would be.
And then,
I agree. 100%.
And then he has Beta Ray Bill has history with the Guardians of the Galaxy, so that kind of ties into
Thor
that.
has been very interactive with the Guardians, so
and I agree. I'm sorry, I cannot think of an actor for it.
No worries. I put you on the spot with that. I wanted to add that earlier, but it was after I'd already put this on, and I forgot to go add it. That's on me. I just wanted to throw it out in case you had somebody in mind.
Yeah.
You don't? No big deal.
No, but I think it would fit perfectly well with what's going on in the MCU, and kind of keep some of the original Avengers in it with like a little loose tie-in.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I mean, it would really be kind of not necessarily the Young Avengers, but like you have like, Haley Steinfeld's kind of like continuation of Hawkeye, right?
Exactly.
Like you have Ironheart, you have like all these that are kind of like continuations of those characters. So Beta Ray Bill could be that. Mine is Squirrel Girl.
Oh, nice.
I've always wanted to see that come
was
to
almost my
fruition.
decision.
And the person that I said that I would want to play this is Anna Kendrick, and I've always fucking thought that. I thought she would be phenomenal in that. I think she's a fantastic actress, and I thought it would be great.
That would be perfectly casted,
Yeah.
I think, for sure.
That's who mine was.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Squirrel Girl. I think it would be it would be kind of like Ant-Man, but like also totally different. So
Yeah, I was
going to
say yours is more like brand new to the end.
Yeah.
Which I like. So no, that's perfect.
Yeah, dude.
All right, man.
All right. Well, that wraps up our episode. I have nothing in here, so I'm going to cheers you anyway. There we go.
Let's fucking go.